Hi everyone, it's me, Lubna. Today is Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. This video is dedicated to my beloved, and the topic of this video is going to be about how we are transformed through the choices that we make on a daily basis. So as you know, I have been reading the book Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, which is the first book contained within this collection right here. And last night, very late at night, while I was reading this book, I came across a passage in which C.S. Lewis talks about how there's a central part within each person which is molded and formed according to the decisions that the person makes in his or her daily life. And I wanted to share that passage with you today in my video. And this passage comes from the chapter that is titled Morality and Psychoanalysis within the third book within Mere Christianity, which is titled Christian Behavior. And I'll go ahead and read that passage aloud to you now. Here it goes. People often think of Christian morality as a kind of bargain in which God says, "If you keep a lot of rules, I'll reward you. And if you don't, I'll do the other thing." I do not think that is the best way of looking at it. I would much rather say that every time you make a choice, you are turning the central part of you, the part of you that chooses, into something a little different from what it was before. And taking your life as a whole, with all your innumerable choices, all your life long, you are slowly turning this central thing either into a heavenly creature or into a hellish creature, either into a creature that is in harmony with God and with other creatures and with itself, or else into one that is in a state of war and hatred with God and with its fellow creatures and with itself. To be the one kind of creature is heaven, that is, it is joy and peace and knowledge and power. To be the other means madness, horror, idiocy, rage, impotence, and eternal loneliness. Each of us at each moment is progressing to the one state or the other. That explains what always used to puzzle me about Christian writers. They seem to be so very strict at one moment and so very free and easy at another. They talk about mere sins of thought as if they were immensely important, and then they talk about the most frightful murders and treacheries as if you had only got to repent and all would be forgiven. But I have come to see that they are right. What they are always thinking of is the mark which the action leaves on that tiny central self which no one sees in this life, but which each of us will have to endure or enjoy forever. So those are the lines that I wanted to share from Mere Christianity today. And as he was explaining, there is this central part within each of us, which is, again, molded and formed according to the decisions that we make in response to particular situations that we might face in our lives. For example, there might be situations that tempt us and might incite us to become angry. Like somebody might have done something wrong toward us, and we have a choice to either become angry or to take the high road and not let it affect us and try to forgive that person, no matter how difficult it may be to do that. And in the one hand, if we become angry and try to take revenge on that person, that ends up harming that central part within us, and we create this hell within ourselves. Because I know that there have been moments where I have been upset or angry in my own life, and I end up sabotaging myself instead of getting back at the other person. More so than getting back at the other person, I harm myself. And so you see, choosing to take the wrong road in response to certain situations is creating a hell within ourselves. Whereas if we choose to take the high road and be the better person and react in a forgiving way, we're taking the better path and we are creating a heaven within ourselves with each decision that we make similar to that. And this doesn't just apply to situations that might provoke our anger. It also applies to temptations to do a host of other bad things. And the decision is always up to us on how we will react to that situation or that circumstance. And I'll give you an example which I've talked about in many of my recent videos because I recently withdrew from medical school after 3 years, and it was not by choice, and I worked very hard, and I was devastated when this happened in July earlier this year. Now, I could have decided to go down a path of doing bad things or reacting in a way that would have been destructive to myself and also to my loved ones. I could have chosen to medicate myself through substance use, or I might have done something else very bad with my life. But I decided to calm down, assess my situation, and figure out where to go from here and work hard to recover myself from what I had been through. And for example, making these videos is a way for me to find another avenue to be productive with my life and make my life mean something and not have to rely on the fact that I didn't graduate from medical school as defining who I am. So in that situation, I made the decision to take the high road. And another way of looking at it would be that each of us has this stone within ourselves, within us, and that is like our soul. And with each decision that we make and each difficulty that we go through and the obstacles that we encounter and how we react to those obstacles, we are chiseling and shaping this stone into either a beautiful diamond or to something rough and ugly. Don't you want to have a diamond within you that after all is said and done and after you shed your earthly body, that's all that is going to remain of you, either a diamond or a rough and ugly stone? Which would you rather be? And we have to remember again that with every decision and every choice that we make and every reaction that we have to any given situation in our lives, we are molding and shaping that stone into either something ugly or something beautiful. So with that, I hope that you learned something very valuable from my video today about how we are transformed through the choices that we make on a daily basis. And I hope that you will apply this to your life today and every other day starting now. Thank you so much for watching my video as always, and I'd like to wish you a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, or whatever it is wherever you are in the world.